Sorry, guys. I'm exactly 1 minute behind 11:11 for wish time because I was talking thinking I was live when I wasn't actually live. So I had to restart it because that's pretty much how today in the new moon in Capricorn has been going. I don't know how you guys have been feeling with the new moon energy. I hope that it is finding you well. I told you guys that I would pop in and try and use the numerology to the best of our ability. And this is kind of for those late night owls. Now, I am still working. Facebook has told me I have to wait 24 hours for all of my changes. So, for my private to go public. So, for a few of you, I had like 92 requests to join the Gypsy tribe. So for that, I'm like extremely excited for everybody who's really interested, and continue to check that out on Facebook backslash from Paranormal Sarah. You'll see the Gypsy tribe link there. But you guys, today, two things happen. And kind of the astrology that I want to touch base with. So, I told you that we would be checking in every single day and be able to use this energy and understand the astrology together. And then tomorrow, Matt did his Sunday night dead. I was going to try and join him tonight, but then our cars wouldn't start. Our cars didn't start today because it's so cold in Minnesota that we couldn't drive. The cars wouldn't even start. So it took a little longer to get the things done today that we had planned to get done today. So we're going to be doing the predictions tomorrow, which is better anyway because it's a Monday. And that is really the first Monday of the year, right, Andy Ray? You were in my thoughts today, Andy. Scotty, good to see you. Carrie, welcome. All of you guys, be sure and tag someone who might want to join in tonight or share. And thank you guys so much for joining me on my daily check ins with this astrology jazz. So, the astrology today. Mercury entered Aquarius. If you guys are interested in really going into the nitty gritty of it, we do the Tuesday weekly astrology and alchemy podcast on YouTube. You can find that out at paranormalsarah.com. But today, 122022, Mercury entered into Aquarius. So this is our throat. This is new ideas. This is these exciting opportunities. This is talking about new opportunities. This is talking about things that you're wanting to finish and work on, and embracing new change, new era, new news, new things, discussions of change. The do's and do nots are in the air. Indeed. There's going to be people who do not want to engage in anything new, and they want to stay overwhelmingly comfortable, isolated. No, 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 no. They're in the realm of the no. The ones and the twos, the zeros and the ones, the kind of this path and that path, if you're seeing it in that way, which sometimes it does kind of feel that way, because eventually it does, go that way. Right now, Aquarius, that's throwing the baby out with the bathwater, right? Sometimes that's the idea that it's an emotional air. It's something that is like an omnipotent message, like a prophetic vision, like very emotional dreams maybe, or someone having a near-death experience, or having anxiety or intrusive thoughts. These are areas where someone says something and whispers like, "Oh yeah, well, I guess that never really bothered me anyway." And like, or something is said, it's a message on the wind that might irk you the wrong way if you're not careful today. So to take messages and all things lightly in the next 24 hours especially. And the ritual suggestion in that air, if you're working on your focus with an incense stream in the air, smoke magic, rebellious energy, what is it that you're thinking about rebelling about? Or messages and tone. What are your messages? How are you talking to the people you love? How are you setting your boundaries? Are you saying please and thank you? Are you initiating or reacting? Think about, and I love the phrase that we used on Tuesday. This came out a few times, and it came out numerous times: pushing the envelope. Envelope, calligraphy. This is a message, maybe like, message in a bottle, yeah, like Sting, like Police, like something in a different way. This is definitely going to be, I think, for me, it has been a lot of music. There's been a lot of kind of crazy frequency, just listening to things and then allowing yourself flip it and reverse it like Willy Wonka. How are you using this little whistle tune to see things in a new way and open opportunity? It's going to be extremely important. Just and the best way to use this is, I think, as you're getting these ideas, you're going to get a really great idea, a book idea, a business idea, an idea for something, an idea for this or for that. Write it down. And then as you're writing it down, go back into those days of school where you're like doing a Venn diagram, you're going to do the pros and cons, you're going to discuss it with the many versions of self and really toil it out and stretch it and do all the constructive criticism within self before you share these opportunities. Do it in a rebellious way. Be the devil's advocate. That's going to be in the air from here forward as Mercury. It will eventually go retrograde this month. Eek! We'll be talking about that later, and follow the astrology and alchemy with Matt and I every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. But the big thing for those witches out there, for you people utilizing the lunar cycle, if you're a Farmer's Almanac fan, the new moon tonight. The new moon tonight. What does that mean? New moon tonight. What does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean for you? I always revert to nature. I am often finding myself, the royal we. I'm finding myself thinking about the stories of the new moon from family, from Girl Scouts, from out in nature, from being out on a hike with my grandpa, and listening to how the animals use the moon cycle, how you plant your crops with the moon cycle. And the new moon, it's darkness. The new moon, you are able to look up at the sky and you're really able to see the constellations. You're really able to see things without the light pollution of the moon. But that also means that there's going to be predators that have, apex predators, the predators that can see in the dark, the bats, the creatures that have, ooh, ooh, different ways of communicating. Heat, movement, sound, other than seeing. That's why we're seeing a lot of the eyes covered, the kind of cloaked, rethinking the discernment, justice, lady liberty, these themes. It's the constellation, the Capricorn, that goat that's climbing the mountain that isn't necessarily, you don't see goats looking up. They're usually up high looking down, but it's climbing. It's climbing, focusing those goals on what you would like to achieve. And the new moon is that you may not be able to see them. And if you're feeling uncertain, if your energy is low, if you are wounded, if you feel like being out in the dark where predators are absolutely snatching up things like that, you should be careful. It's like pitch black. Capricorn is, you do it as you know. If there's something you would like another chance with, another chance to do, an opportunity to explore, think about the best time, make a plan, a strategy, pragmatic, logical, rational, a list, capture, revisit, write it down, rethink it. Consider deviation as a form of the rebellion that we see in Aquarius. Write it down, but then edit it. What is your pen name? When I was doing my meditation with the new moon, I've been using Psyche. I've been using different guides of my own that I have on my altar space that are represented in gemstones, crystals, altar items, figures, feathers, things from nature, things that I've carved, things that have been given to me, gifted to me, representations of those guides. And I move them around. And on a new moon, I move things in a way that I want them to be so that I am navigating. I was thinking and sitting there at my altar with my candles going, because it's about creating light. But remember, there's predators out. That also means that you're going to be drawing attention to yourself. Do what you need to conserve your energy, discern what you know, write down what you think you know, and then what you know you know. The pen name, that kind of came to me. It was kind of fun thinking about like the brand name, the pen name, what it is that you go by, these alias, and just the labels, what labels mean. A ghostwriter. Who Framed Roger Rabbit and the Invisible Ink is kind of what came up on Tuesday's astrology. We were talking about how something, the timing is going to show itself. More ink is going to come forward. A document or a piece of evidence is going to happen, going to show itself. And interesting, I've been having a lot of reggae, a lot of jazz, a lot of Hugh Laurie, Anthony Bourdain, a lot of Robin Williams humor, whereas usually I have like George Carlin. I have a lot of Joker entities that come in for me, and this is just a little different. It's more honest and truly, utilizing that bipolar depression to channel into something more hopeful and optimistic. Robin Williams was always so good at that. So you're going to be seeing a lot of the goat heads, the horns. You're going to be seeing patients. You're going to have a lot more people isolating. You're going to be feeling maybe even exhausted as you're wanting to climb. You're wanting to illustrate purpose. You're going to maybe want to talk it out to be more certain. But remember, people aren't going to want to talk right now. Matt and I had shared that on the astrology and alchemy of how some of those energies work when they're working in sacred geometry with each other. So keep that in mind and don't take things personally. The apathy in the air right now is some of the lacking of water. There's only really Jupiter in Pisces. So much else is really in Capricorn. I mean, if you're looking at it, there's just a lot of stuff partying in that constellation, which means there's going to be a lot of thinking, overthinking, logic, strategy, chess, quiet, keeping quiet. It's funny, my husband recently, I had asked him, I was like, hey, what are your goals and thoughts and resolutions, and he is always very mysterious. And he said, to be more private. And I looked, I said, what? And we kind of giggled because it just kind of plays on that energy that keeping silent, keeping boundaries, keeping things mysterious, being aware that you do hold the key. You set those lines in the sand. So think about that. And when you feel like you're going to open your mouth, when you feel like you're ready to speak or say something, instead, take a step back and breathe in and take the information in. It's actually been quite difficult. It's almost one of those Julia Roberts moments in Eat, Pray, Love, where if you can harness yourself from speaking and write it down first. I love to practice different languages. American Sign Language is always something that I'm utilizing. And I follow a tarot reader friend of mine who is also trilingual, and sign language is always used in his readings, and I love it. And we were talking about how witch used to be for the old kind of ugly, dangly nose, and that recently it's kind of gone from the nose to the head because this would imply wisdom and more witch, so that I am, identifying as this rather than this. And just how sign languages has changed a little bit and what that's based on, and thinking, okay, before I even say something, how would I say this in a different language? How would I really communicate this? Am I saying this the way I want this to be received? Because I really can control that right now. And people really aren't even listening right now. It's because people are in their own space. So you can really navigate quietly and tiptoe and be careful. And you can also not do anything. You can watch how other people are moving. You can be a fly on the wall. You can be observant. But tonight is the new moon in Capricorn. So take a moment, even if it's a few minutes. Put 30 seconds on your phone, sit in a brief moment, go outside and look at the constellations, how bright they are, and think about how all of our ancestors before us would use this space, this breath, to think about how light is returning soon. What do we know right now? The weather has been so cold. What are we going to do today and on the precipice of today? We're not seeing too far ahead because things are uncertain. It is that stellan in the Nordic culture for sure. It is a peaceful uncertainty. And so find the peace and find the placid and find the anchoring, and light a candle, write your thoughts down, push the envelope, do a piece of art. The new moon doesn't mean you have to do anything new. It's not necessarily about manifesting something great. In many ways, it's about purging, cleansing, opening a window, letting things out, making more room, because it's a newness, and tomorrow will start the waxing of the moon. The moon will return, the light will continue, the nights will get lighter, and creatures will begin to poke their heads out of their hole, and the energy in the yang will become a little bit more noisy, and you'll hear things echoing, and you'll be able to navigate, and people will talk again, and things will return, but it will be slow. And so if you enjoy that quietness, use it. The new moon in Capricorn asks you to. So think about how you master it. Some people use it, women in movies, if you're a director. Oh, hold on. I'm sorry. What was that? Women have a unique ability to be able to slow time down, quite literally ask, can you hold on a moment? Oh, I need to take a breath. Okay. Can you start again? Control the time, control the pace, like a monotone in the back. Pick a rock up, pick a stone. Take some grounding energy with you. And then tomorrow, guys, I will hopefully be joining you bright and early, like a 9 a.m. It's the 3rd tomorrow. And so when it's the 3rd, I'm always playing on the number 3. And I ain't going to be up at 6 o'clock doing any meditation. You don't want to see me that early. I'm mean. But I will be right around 9, probably 9:33, hopefully, if I can get on board. But if you're following me on my social media, I will be giving a free notification. So keep your eyes peeled. And then that way you can join me for an early morning meditation and set your day, set your Monday. We're going to talk about all the social media hashtags and things to look forward to, and even do some free readings. So join me tomorrow morning. And I really do hope to see you then. All right, guys, thanks for joining me. And I will talk to you tomorrow. Don't forget, go dance naked under the moon. Not really, though. I mean, it might be illegal, so don't do that. But like maybe, do something. Anyway,